All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Delusional Fan with Geraghty and McCloud. Geraghty McCloud. Top 5 time, my favorite segment. Remember to join us on Facebook, join us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube page. We love that you guys watch the videos and comment on it, so keep that stuff up, especially top 5 stuff. We love to know your top 5s every week. This week's top 5, Ryan, I thought only fitting considering what LeBron and Kyrie just did. They set a record first time.
Inspired by LeBron.
Inspired by LeBron. This whole show is inspired by LeBron today. And who's your buddy that hates LeBron?
My brother-in-law, Bergs. That's why I'm just going to look right into it. Inspired by him. Just, wow.
One of the greatest players of all time.
That we've ever seen.
Right.
Right.
It's awesome.
So, yeah, this is going to be good, though.
Top 5 championship/playoff performances according to Geraghty and McCloud. So this could be anything in history, really. Now,
yeah, not one sport. This isn't NBA. This is any sport.
Yeah, it could be any sport. It could be as deep in history as you wanted to go. Obviously, I wanted to pick stuff that I saw, or that I was around for, or that just you couldn't miss on. I'll go first on this one only because I have some honorable mentions.
Oh, here we go.
I really wanted to bring this up, but there's a reason. Neither of us were even close to being alive. In fact, our grandparents might not have been alive during this.
You reached deep into the drawer, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Only because I was doing I was trying to compare one of, and I'll bring it up during one of my final performances. I was trying to compare his to other guys that had done it in the sport before, because I wanted to hope that I was right in thinking how great what I witnessed was.
Yeah.
Now, it was a different time. The sport was played a little bit differently back then, but Major League Baseball. In 1905, Christy Matheson.
It's 5?
What?
This is your 5? Oh,
no. This is the honorable mention.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
I want you guys to think about this.
Yeah.
How crazy this is matching this up today. Christy Matheson in 1905 for the Giants. He pitched 3 shutouts in 5 games over 6 days.
Yeah, it's
to win the World Series.
Never, ever will happen again.
Can you imagine that?
No. I mean, it's granted, again, different time and everything, but that's still, that's super impressive.
Over 5 days.
I get it.
Yeah, it's different, but you're still facing a pitcher that's pitched 3 times in 5 days. At least that last game, you can't hit one of those.
Yeah, right. Shut him out 3 times. Yeah.
You can't get one dinger out of that. And this guy in 1909, for the Pirates, Babe Adams, he was a rookie. 3 complete game wins in the World Series.
Huh.
As a rookie. And they beat Ty Cobb's Tigers.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Can you imagine what they could do with a little HGH?
I wonder that.
Go back in time just a little bit.
The good guys from back then, imagine if they did have the drugs, other than the whiskey they were drinking.
God, Babe Ruth.
All right. So, we're going to go over my top 5 all-time performances.
Starting with 5.
Starting with number 5, I have Marcus Allen. When the Raiders were back in L.A.
Yep. I know what you're talking about. I've seen this NFL film.
Super Bowl 17.
Yep.
They won 38-9. He had 191 yards rushing.
Yeah.
With a 74-yard run, which anybody who's seen any of the old NFL films, it's one of the greatest runs you've ever seen.
Absolutely.
And he did it in the Super Bowl. He finished with 9.5 yards per carry.
Oh my God.
Now, I looked it up because I wanted to know if you were playing a fantasy. If there was, I don't think in Super Bowl 17 people were doing rotisserie yet. But if you were doing fantasy or rotisserie back then, you would have gotten 32 points out of Marcus Allen.
That is, yeah.
In the Super Bowl.
Man, I know exactly what game you're talking about. I know exactly what run you're talking about. Yeah, that was dumb.
Okay. Number 4, I'm sticking with football.
Okay.
So I'm going Jerry Rice.
Okay.
Niners, Super Bowl 23.
Yep.
Okay. Again, just stupid. 11 receptions, 215 yards. Oh, and he also took the MVP when they beat the Bengals in '89. He's considered probably the greatest receiver of all. Well, he is the greatest receiver of all time.
Some people have him of all time.
Some people have him as best player of all time. I don't think he's the best player. Obviously, I think he's the best receiver of all time.
And I don't want to go off topic here, but if he's not, who is the best player of all time for you?
Jim Brown.
Okay, I can take that. That's fine. That's cool.
And that's from a Walter Payton fan.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So,
I get that.
Yeah. It's hard for me.
His records are just so much. That's why people widely consider him the best player of all time. His records are untouchable for the most part. But they're so far above and beyond every other receiver.
But, I would still have Walter Payton and O.J. Simpson, Tom Brady, Joe Montana. I'd put all those guys ahead of Jerry Rice.
Oh, you would. Come on.
Yes, absolutely.
No, wait, okay. Randy Moss, you said?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought the last person you just said. I heard OJ, and then who was the...
Joe Montana.
Oh,
Tom Brady.
Okay.
Walter Payton.
Quarterbacks, I think it's a different... I don't know, man.
Remember, Jerry Rice has no catches without playing for Joe Montana and Steve Young.
Yeah. They're a big chunk of all their awards and their accolades as well.
Steve Young almost made my honorable mention list for his
I know what you mean.
Bowl.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh. Okay.
I feel you.
You ready for this one? Number 3?
Yep.
Wayne Gretzky, 1985. Now,
love this.
This is the only time this is the only time I really went off the grid. I didn't go because this wasn't in Game 7. This is his. I'm giving you his playoff numbers. That's how stupid hockey was back then, as far as how great Wayne Gretzky was compared to the rest of the league. It was a man amongst boys. Okay, he had 47 points. Now, for those unfamiliar with hockey, for those unfamiliar with hockey, you get a point for scoring. You get a point for an assist. During the playoffs, he had 47 points.
Yikes.
47 points.
Yikes.
17 goals, 30 assists. 30 assists. So when he wasn't scoring, he's like, here, go ahead.
Now,
score.
Now he is like, there is nobody who touches Gretzky.
No.
Right.
No.
There's no comparison in football compared to him.
There's always the argument if Lemieux would have never gotten cancer, or just died. I mean, there are guys who are great.
Yeah.
There was nobody that was like Gretzky. There was nobody. He also won the Conn Smythe that year. That's the MVP of the playoffs. That was the first of 2 he would win. But just stupid numbers. And they breezed through that playoff. Another cool part about that playoffs, they only lost 2 games, and it was actually the Blackhawks, which were close games. The games they beat the Blackhawks in that year, I don't have it in front of me, but they outscored them. Now this is goal wise, not points. They outscored them goal wise by more than like 30 goals in like the 4 games that they won. It was just numbers that were insane with the Oilers. So Gretzky. I had to include how great that was in theirs. Okay, so
very good. I like it.
You like that one?
I mean, yeah, all of them have been good because they're not any of mine. So it's good. Yeah.
Number 2, and this is the one where I found the Christy Matheson and the Babe Adams. Randy Johnson's 2001 Diamondbacks. Okay, 3 wins in that series. So that's why when I went back, I'm like, geez, these guys had 3 wins. Now again, different game, different athletes, but. I mean, he had a 3-hit shutout in Game 2 with 11 strikeouts. Game 6, they blew him out. And then he decided to come in Game 7 and win for him.
He relieved, didn't he?
He relieved in Game 7.
Yeah.
And they beat Mariano Rivera in the Yankees in that series, too. Because Mariano was in that game.
I wanted to just have one of my top, like my number 5, just be Mariano Rivera any series. Any World
Except for that one.
Right, except for that one.
But that's only because Randy Johnson was so down. Now, I watched Baumgartner a couple years ago and how great he was, but Johnson to me started that for me. Just how great he was in that series. The unit was unstoppable. Just unstoppable. He willed that team to the series. And one of my favorite players got to win a series out of that, which was Mark Grace, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll always consider him a Cub, even though he got his ring with the Diamondbacks. But so that's my number 2. You ready for my number 1?
Yeah.
You're going to like my number 1 because I'll bet this one's on your list.
It's probably my number 1 because you can't leave this off of your top 5. So if you do, I'll give you
You
so
weren't
much
alive
shit.
then, though.
So I'm going to give you shit. So go ahead.
Magic Johnson.
Okay.
42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists in Game 6 of the NBA Finals where they won. And the reason he had those, Kareem was injured. Magic Johnson, the point guard of the Lakers. Right. And if you remember, freaking rookie. They're like, you're not going to be our point guard today. Kareem's hurt. Sorry. one of the greatest players in NBA history can't play.
Gonna have to play our center.
We need you to go play center.
Right. Yep. Dude, that's why he's.
I want to say this again.
He's one of the best. For
42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, and they won.
I like that one a lot.
And not only did they win,
all yours are good.
they won their first
Surprise.
5 titles in the 80s. Now, they lost, what? Magic was what? Magic ended up losing at least 4 or 5, I think. But it doesn't matter. That, to me, is the greatest finals, one single game performance of all time, watching that happen. And there were other things I was looking at, like the Jordan flu game and things like that, but he went in and played a different position.
Yeah.
And had those numbers.
Right.
And the thing is, I know Magic was tall for a point guard, and he's an athletic guy, but the reason Lakers win is because he's running the team at point. Now you're not going to be a point.
Hey,
you go play center.
He's running Showtime,
Yeah, dude, it was fantastic.
That was what made him great. He could defend all 5, play all 5.
So that's my top 5. So I got Magic, I got Randy Johnson, I've got Wayne Gretzky, I've got Jerry Rice, Marcus Allen.
I like them.
You like it?
Them all, absolutely. Those are good.
Okay.
Proud of you, man. You kept all Chicago teams off there. That's okay. No, that's good. Again, I'm proud of you. That's good. Very nice.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so I don't know. You might disqualify my number 5, only because I'm using an individual performance as a team. Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
Because I almost did the 85 Bears
and
defense.
I thought you were going to do that.
Okay.
I really did, and I would have been okay with that.
Okay.
What they did in that
Super Bowl
that run, absolutely. So similar concept here with the 2001 Lakers, and you'll notice my top 5 are, for the most part, things that I lived through and things that I remember. Right. So, dude, they went 15-1. It's by far the best record, playoff record, and win percentage of all time in NBA Finals, or playoff history for that matter. They were the 2nd seed. They beat the 1 seed San Antonio Spurs, Tim Duncan, Parker, all those guys, by an average of 22.3 points per game. Just steamrolled them. Again, they were the 2 seed coming in and having to go on the road for the most part. Beat him by 22.3 points per game. Shaq averaged 30 points in the finals. How many do you think Kobe averaged in the finals?
Shaq averaged what?
30.
Kobe must have averaged 26.
Dude, that's close. 29.
Oh, okay.
He's right underneath him though.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about how impressive it is that LeBron and Kyrie put up 41 together in one game. These guys damn near averaged 30 throughout the finals together, and they only lost because they should have been 16-0. They ran into AI game 1 of the NBA Finals, and he shit on them, and he did. And I again, one of the most memorable games ever. That's when he stepped over Ty Lue. Yeah, awesome stuff. That was a great run. So that's my number 5. Them as a whole, you could single it out and call it Shaq or Kobe in the finals either. So great performances all around. But number 4. Dwayne Wade in the 2006 NBA Finals.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know if you remember watching this. Do you remember that Finals? Against the Mavs.
Yeah.
They go down 2-0.
Yes.
Or 0-2, excuse me. They go down 0-2, and he takes over.
Yes.
And this is by far one of my favorite finals of all time. I'll never forget watching these games in Arizona. I was on vacation with my family in Arizona. We were watching. I was in awe. I mean, 34.7 points per game in the finals. The record, right. 2.7 steals per game in the finals, 4 assists. I mean, and again, the others, it wasn't about really the stats. It was how he took over, scoring like 18 points in a quarter to bring them back, things like that. So, one of the best performances of all time in the NBA, Dwayne Wade, 2006. Number 3 is actually my favorite football game of all time.
Okay.
I will never forget this game. It was 2006 again, 2006 national title game. Vince Young, his individual performance.
Yes.
There's so many things that went into play with that. You have the underdog Texas team playing the two-time defending national champion USC Trojans. You have Matt Leinart, Pete Carroll, Reggie Bush,
And
34-game winning streak.
Let me break
line.
in. I was going to say one of the greatest college football teams of all time.
Absolutely. They're,
Of all time.
You can maybe even call
Reggie
them that.
Bush is one of the greatest players of all time in college.
Dude, you can... 2 Heisman Trophy winners on the same team in Leinart and Reggie Bush. You can call that team the best team now, even with them losing that game. Yep. They were going for 3 straight on a 34-game win streak. And they ran into the buzzsaw that was Vince Young.
Well, it all came down to one final drive.
Well, and that's what made it, that's just amplified it though, right? Yeah. Because you're talking, he went 30 for 40, 267 yards through the air, 200 yards rushing, 4 total touchdowns, including, with 19 seconds left, ran in the game-winning touchdown on 4th and 8.
Oh.
Dude, it was the most exciting football game / best football game I've ever seen, by far.
Stupid performance.
Absolutely. Not live. I mean, I can go a different direction there, but best game I've ever watched. It's certainly college football. Number 2, a little curveball from me, but this is easily one of the most dominant performances in a championship setting. Tiger Woods, 97, Masters, Augusta. He's 21 years old. He's just on the cover of Sports Illustrated for Sportsman of the Year, and a lot of pressure. He won by 12 strokes. He was 18 under. Yeah. Dude. I mean, other guys couldn't even keep up, let alone, try to compete for the title there. But he's also the first non-white player to ever win. I mean, there's just like a lot of things that went into that specific tournament. His age, what he was up against, and his dominance in that tournament. So, and he has a Masters and Augusta record, shot 270 over 4 days. Yep. Stupid. And of course, number 1, and this is the one I was going to say, you've got to have this on your list. I don't know how you can't have this on your list. The flu game. It's like, do you not really have it on there? Is that why you're swaying, or you just? He
didn't have the flu. He had a flu-like symptom.
He had food poisoning, and again, we can go 1,000 directions. There's a lot of people who say that a Utah fan at the restaurant they ordered from poisoned him, things like that. Like MJ's probably the one throwing those secrets in there. He's all about his legacy and his image and everything, and what he can overcome. But come on, man, you can't deny that he felt like shit. They said he didn't get up from his bed till 5:50 p.m. The game was at 7. He didn't get out of bed until an hour before the game. Showed up, he was getting the fluids at halftime, everything.
What, 40?
38 points.
38 points, okay.
Dude, including, they went down, what was it? They went down 16 early. They went down by 16 points early in the game, first quarter. He scores 17 points and brings them back in.
I watched it. Obviously, it was great.
Yeah.
That actually, I think maybe not only what diminishes it, the fact that he didn't have the flu and they keep calling it flu game, but what diminishes it for me, though,
his image,
is actually a good thing. How great the whole series was. Mm-hmm. Every game, it's not like today where with Cleveland and Golden State, where every game's a blowout. Mm-hmm. No matter who wins, game's a blowout. Every game was close in that series. I mean, within 5 points. I think there's only one game that even had a 5-point spread. The rest were won by 2 points or 1 point.
No, I think game 1 they ended up beating them pretty convincingly. In game 1, I think game 2, 3, and 4 were and you can look it up.
What year was that?
This is 97.
It was 97.
Yeah, the 97 finals. Because here's what people forget too. Because you're right, everybody just thinks he had the flu and he had a really good game. You got to take a lot of things into account. Again, I don't care his degree of sickness. He played 44 minutes and scored 38 points and had crucial shots, including the game winner. It was a 3 late with, I think, 15, 20 seconds left. He hit a game, the 3 to put him up by 1. Yep. What people forget is that this was crucial. They had gone up 2-0, lost 2 straight on the road to Utah. If he doesn't play and they lose, they're down 2-3. I mean, and again, this goes back to our what ifs as to what happens if they don't want to. I mean, this could alter his legacy altogether if he doesn't come and play in this game. He plays sick and he dominates.
Here's how close this series was. Game 1, Chicago won 84-82.
Okay, that was game 1?
Game 1. Stockton, Malone, Jordan, and Pippen, and it was 84-82.
Okay, game 2.
Again, different defense. Game 2, Chicago won 97-85. So a little more dominant win,
but yeah.
It can get away from you with all the fouls.
That's probably one I was thinking was a little bigger, yeah.
Utah wins game 3, 104-93. Again, close game.
Yeah.
Game 4, Utah wins 78. 78 to
Yep, I
73.
remember. Yep.
Game 5,
Jordan didn't
Chicago
have a good
wins.
game in game. Yeah.
Game 5, Chicago wins by 2, 90-88.
And again, that was, he hits that free, and then there's a late free throw.
And then the flu game, 90-86.
Yep.
So, close series. Every game was winnable for either team.
I don't care. There's so many images from that game. There's like this and one I can remember where he kind of does this thing, and he's just exhausted. He hits that crucial three, and then getting carried off the court with Pippen. I mean,
it's an iconic
There's so
image.
many things that, go into that game. That's why you got to have it number one. But that's what I got, man. Jordan flu game in 97. Again, sticking in 97, Tiger Woods Masters. 06 national title, Vince Young.
Oof.
Dwayne Wade. 2006 NBA Finals. And then the 01 Lakers squad.
That Shaq and Kobe. Crazy.
Yep.
You know, this is the first top 5 we've done. We haven't had anything on the list that's exactly the same.
I agree, which is, again, round of applause up for us.
We
all
weren't even
around
that
tonight.
close, really, on stuff. We weren't.
I agree. We went very different directions, which is good.
Let us know your top 5 championship performances. A lot of those is really
Definitely.
what you watched, how emotional you got over it.
Absolutely.
And as emotional I was, I think why I had no Bulls things on there, I was so emotional over just the total package. I don't remember the individual performances as much. I'm so happy the Bulls are winning.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess maybe that's an excuse. Obviously, I do remember the flu game and how big a deal that was, but I think they were both great top 5s. Let us know your top 5. Subscribe to YouTube. Get on Facebook right away. Let us know your top 5s. We're going to talk about them next week. When we come back, we finally get to your fan what ifs from our questions last week, and then Ryan and I will also interject a little bit on what we think. So, we will be right back. You have a good one.